Hello, this is a little bit awkward. This is Charles M. Powers and Joji Gently, and we are currently in a waiting room at the Shinigawa Courthouse. They're talking about deporting us, and we've been here for hours on end. How long do you think it's been, Joe?
Well, I don't grow facial hair easily. I've been told I have a baby face, but I have a 5 o'clock shadow right now, and I never have that. So we've been here for hours on end.
They handed down some rulings and some charges. We didn't really understand much of it, but they caught wind of our podcast. And guys, while we're in this country, I don't think we can talk about the G words anymore. And you know them all. There are many of them.
It's kind of a blow to our episode this week because we can't talk about our typical spooky hauntings.
But I asked them, because we have all our equipment here somehow to record this, and I asked them, can we make our podcast? And they handed me a list of topics here. Do you want to pick something from this list with me?
Yeah, I feel like we're good enough podcasters where we could do a podcast about anything. Doesn't have to be about the G word.
Okay, number one is Shinto and Buddhist shrines.
Okay.
Number two is basket weaving.
I know nothing about that.
Number three, it says biru. It's not even translated. It's beer.
We've had a few of those. We could definitely talk about that.
Yeah, I'm off a couple of those right now, for being honest. Disc golf. I didn't know they did that here. The last one is baseball. Do you know anything about baseball?
I know the letters RBI, but I don't know what they stand for.
Do you think we can do a baseball podcast here? I don't see why not.
I don't see why not. And I think that because baseball is so popular in Japan, we might get into their favor again. They might like us again. They might invite us back in the country after deporting us.
Let's do it. This is, I guess, sadly, maybe the inaugural episode of Baseball Watch, our new podcast. So let's play the intro.
Baseball.
I want to throw it to the next segment, but we need a new name for it, because
Yeah.
the H word won't fly in this room anymore.
Yeah, so why don't we just call it bowl, BOL, baseball online?
Or home run online.
Oh, I like that. We can keep it whole with HOL, home run online.
Viewers, chime in. Let us know which ones you're voting for tonight.
Don't send it or call us. Just say it out loud right now.
Just say it out. We will know. Joe's a psychic.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about psychics?
He is shaking his head no.
Oh, shit.
Play ball. Go.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We have received permission from the guard here. We're still in this holding cell, but we've given the thumbs up to go ahead with our next segment, as long as it's not about any sort of paranormal subject matter. You're the one who found this video for us, right, Joe?
Yeah, that's right. This is 7 true, scary sports fields horror stories. Too many S's in there, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a short video. It's only 36 minutes.
Yeah, we might have to cut at least 3 of these stories out. But
yeah, I just want to, I want to hear about some sports field stories. I think the guards let us do this because they can't read too many of the words on the title. And, the icon is a sports field. So I think we're good to keep Baseball Watch rolling.
yeah, the guard is still here. by the way. He's still staring at us. But we are watching this on a little portable DVD player. They were nice enough to burn this video onto DVD for us. I really don't know why they're being so accommodating, but
yeah, beggars can't be choosers. I would have preferred HD DVD. Get a little bit more quality going.
Yeah, you're kind of interesting in that whenever you go to like a party or function, you bring your Xbox 360 with the HD DVD attachment, right?
Yeah, I paid a lot for that attachment, and I will get my money's worth.
All right, but let's start this up. I'm going to hit this this big silver play button here that's in front of us. By the way, this is by Horror Studio 1 on YouTube, just to properly give you a place to watch this yourself.
The creep from PE class. I'd mostly forgotten about this until I started reading this subreddit and figured I'd share something. This all started about 4 years ago when I was a junior in high school and continued until 2 months into my senior year. My PE class announced our next unit was going to be volleyball.
Wait, can you pause? This is honestly, the tone that he's using is scaring me a lot.
Yeah, I really can't discern what tone this is, but the ambient noise in the background is really getting to me.
Yeah, and there's a lush green field we're seeing here. That must be where he has PE class. I'm not sure.
I don't know how they're going to play volleyball here, but, you know, that's maybe what the spooky part about it is.
I'm a semi-competent volleyball player.
Oh, he is.
Now, I didn't play for the school team or anything like that, but I can get the ball across the net and not let it hit the ground on our side. Apparently, this amount of skill was enough to impress one of the boys who was in said class. For the rest of the semester, he followed me around class. We were running a lap around the field. He was running alongside me, asking me questions like, "You're pretty tan. What's your tan line like?" Or, "What ethnicity are you?" "You're pretty white." But it seems like there might be something else, too. He was right. My great-grandpa wasn't white, but yikes, dude.
This guy seems... I have a few of the same pickup lines when it comes to approaching the ladies. What are your tan lines like?
You seem pretty white. That's usually what I start off with.
We were getting into groups. I sure made my group had enough people in it, or he was going to be in it for sure. I knew it was creepy, but I was a very naive child who kind of brushed it off with a short laugh and started running faster or whatever to get away because I had no idea how to handle it. I started asking my friends about this guy, and it turns out that this is how he has done with a lot of girls. Okay, then, I thought to myself, I guess I'll just continue to give him short answers to stuff and hope it stops. At this point, he was coming up to me and my friend group after PE and talking with just me. After the first semester of this, it stops. Boy, was I grateful. I didn't know how to deal with him at all.
There's a certain way this guy is talking that's really getting to me. It's that trailing. It seems every week we have an interesting guy, a guy who talks very strange. Remember Saved by Grace?
Robin Williams just said it's like channeling. It is like possession. Oprah was talking about crystal balls because that's one way to channel demons.
Oh, do I ever. Love it.
These guys, I'd like to just get these guys in a room and just let them talk.
It sounds like you're kind of adopting their speech patterns, to be honest.
I'm a little worried that if we watch too much of this, I might become one of these men.
Turns out, it only stopped because he started dating our head drum major. I was in the band, assistant drum major. Towards the end of the year, we had our school Black Light Rally, which was one of the highlights of the year.
Reverse, please. I don't know. A Black Light Rally?
The Black Light Rally.
Sounds like...
Is this a fantasy setting?
Is this a World of Warcraft dungeon that I haven't heard about?
Sure. We had our school Black Light Rally.
I'm no closer to understanding that.
No.
Oh, Black Light? What
Light Rally?
What is
What is that, though?
Which was one of the highlights of the year. Afterwards, I'm helping wheel the marambas back to the band room, and who comes up? The same guy. So it's me, my best friend, and a big-ass marimba, trekking across the expanse of asphalt behind the gym to get back to the band room. Enter PE guy, who for whatever reason was riding a skateboard alongside us pushing the marimba. He said hi, asked if we needed any help at all, and despite us not saying anything, proceeded to try and put his hand over mine on the marimba stand. I immediately moved my hand and he tried again. When I moved my hand a second time, he got the message. Kinda tried to help for another little bit, but then took off on his skateboard. I thought it was extremely weird at the time, but apparently him and the head drum major had broken.
It's just it's his voice. It makes it very difficult. The ups and downs.
Yeah, it's the intonation. Every
like
sentence.
I'm on a roller coaster here.
So this PE guy was pushing a marimba around on a skateboard?
We're not yet to a sports field. Have you thought of that? Always scary story.
Nothing. We're 3 minutes in and nothing serious happened.
After marimba incident, I don't think I saw this guy for the rest of the school year. I thought I was free of him and he was just one more creepy guy I could add to my list of stories to tell, but that was not the case. Shortly before senior year, I found out that my family was moving 2 months into the school year. Yay. I told all my friends. We determined to have as good of a time as we can with the time I had left, yada yada yada.
I like to sidle up to one of my friends and just say, yay. Just into their ear.
Also, he just had to yada yada yada, which that's a good story. When you say that to move the story along, it's good storytelling.
Yeah, it's because that's a sign that you're bored with what you're saying.
My friends, we determined to have as good of a time as we can with the time I had left, yada yada yada. And got down my last day of school before moving. I decided to skip my art class to go hang out with my friends who had second lunch and didn't normally see during the day.
Second lunch? Or like some hobbits?
I didn't even think about that. Second lunch.
The second lunch at the Blaglight Festival, the highlight of the year.
They're eating their second. I feel like it's long wooden tables lit by candlelight, and they're eating giant like ham.
Who showed up? The guy from my PE class. He came up to me and said, I hear you're moving. I didn't really know how to respond to that other than, yeah, I am. It's my last day here. Wrong move. Instead of saying, I'll miss you, or a normal goodbye, have a great time and good luck. That I wish he left me with. He decided to come up from behind me and hug me. I was so startled, I didn't really know what to do. One of my good friends came up to the lunchroom about that time and gave me a weird look. Said creepy guy hugged me for what felt like forever, and then, before leaving, gave me a kiss on the cheek. I was frozen for a moment after he left. All I could think was, did that just really happen? It did. My friends confirmed it for me.
If this is the extent of the story, I'm gonna murder somebody. I am sick of this. This is not a horror story.
This is nothing paranormal. This is just a creepy PE guy.
And if where's the sports field? I'm getting really mad.
And we all agreed that he was extremely fucking creepy. A month or two after I had moved, he sent me a friend request on Facebook. I denied it though. I don't think I ever blocked him now that I think about it, so creepy boy. Let's not meet ever again, please.
That was it.
That's the story.
That was the story. I guess it's true. I guess that's true.
Oh my god.
No sports field though.
Chased down through.
Oh my god. I didn't want to believe that was the end of the story.
I can genuinely say that was the worst story I think I've ever heard.
We've both had our share of experiences in life. I think we could get a high school story from our memories, 3 times creepier than that.
I'm not even sure if we want to listen to this next one, Chased Down Through a Dark Forest.
Where are the sports? If we release this, we might get some jail time because this is not baseball related or sports field related.
Yeah, the guards have been getting angrier as our DVD carries on.
What a horrible, horrible story.
That was trash.
All right, let's continue on and hope for the best.
There's a piano interlude though. Just enjoy that.
Chased down through a dark forest. This happened a long time ago. I'd say this happened when I was around 8 years old. So
Then why, okay, this is just me as, prolific paranormal writer, but why say, this happened a long time ago, and then name exactly when it happened?
Sometimes you gotta hit a word count. I don't know if this is for class, but, it's a good tactic to keep the word count up.
my family and I were on holiday in Spain, in a city close to Barcelona. We went to a very big and luxurious resort with a ton of sports fields, from
Yes.
basketball to soccer.
Well, okay, this is already an improvement.
A lot of space, and it had tall fences around the perimeter to make sure no one could get on at night. To give you some perspective on the whole matter, I think they had 8 soccer fields, 4 basketball courts.
What insane resort has 8 soccer fields? What are you doing? How much land does that encompass?
During the daytime, all the fields are full of people playing sports, and it was always a ton of fun there, but at night, the perimeter closes. I stayed late with a friend. I don't remember his name, so we'll call him Brian. So Brian and I...
What a shitty friend.
Wow. Don't remember his name at all. Of this soccer complex with hundreds of fields.
They remember the exact layout of the soccer fields, yet they can't be bothered to remember the friend's name.
Didn't want to go home yet, so he stayed a little bit longer to shoot penalties on the soccer field. Eventually, they closed the fence, but since we were too far away for them to see us and vice versa, we only found out that the fence was closed when we tried to leave. This was already scary. It was a huge, unlit place in a foreign country surrounded by big fences. After freaking out for a little bit, we decided we didn't want to get into trouble, so we set out to follow the fence to look for holes through which we could escape instead of calling for help. After a solid 20 minutes, we find a hole, but it's not connected to the resort but to a dark forest. We figured it wasn't a large forest and that it would be safe, given it's right next to this resort. We go through the hole and start crossing the forest. A mere 5 minutes later, we enter a large bare spot with an old, damaged, graffiti concrete shed. We avoided it best we could, but soon we heard some glass bottles moving around inside the shed. Out walks this man. He stares at us for like 10 seconds, as we are paralyzed by fear. He looked very deranged, probably had been homeless for the larger part of his life. His clothes were ripped, hair and beard very long.
I think this is the problem with the younger generation, where they won't even let you just, have a few drinks in a shed. They gotta stand there and judge you like you're insane.
I'm getting a lot of judgment in the tone here.
I mean, they clearly don't respect your run-of-the-mill alcoholic, and you should.
He even had a limp. He coughs, which wakes up another man.
That's actually a little much.
Yeah, that was line crossing.
He even had a limp.
This man looks exactly like Charles Padishik from Breaking Bad.
Charles Padishik?
Who's that?
I don't remember. I watched the entirety of that show. I don't remember Charles Padishik. I don't think that's a real person.
They start to walk slowly in our direction, talking to us in Spanish. We slowly back up. They see this and they charge. They start running, screaming, and throwing stuff at us. We are running for our lives. The forest itself is pitch black. We can barely see ahead of us, let alone see if there's an end to the seemingly infinite forest. After about 10 minutes of running, we reached the edge of the forest. We were on a small town road next to a huge cliff. No houses, no people, still being chased. We followed the road uphill, finally gaining some ground on the homeless psychopaths. The road ends. The only thing we see is a mansion without any burning lights. We figured it's all or nothing, and we climb their gate and hide in their backyard. The homeless men follow us, but by the time they manage to get in, we are already hidden in some dense, dark bushes.
Can you trace this accent that we're hearing?
No, I absolutely can't.
Bushes. There's a flourish on every word.
I think it's a Heath Ledger Joker impression. I'm pretty sure.
Woke up the residents. Out comes a man screaming and looking around his garden. He closely passes us but doesn't see us. He was holding a gun. Didn't get a close look, but I think it was a shotgun, an older one that holds 2 shells.
Okay, I'm gonna come to the defense of this man. All right, It's the dead of night. You're on your property. You hear rooting around outside. First thing that comes to my mind, it's a goblin. Or I completely forgot where I was at there. The guard he's wagging his finger at me.
He obviously spots the homeless man and fires a warning shot into the air. The Charles Padishik-looking man charges him, but gets knocked down as well. He forces the homeless man out of his garden at gunpoint. We felt safe for a second, until we realized that we were in a shotgun-wielding man's garden. We wait a little bit to be sure that the man is asleep and that the homeless men have all left. When we leave, think around 30 minutes later, the men are gone, and the roads are quiet.
Wait a minute.
That was some artistic liberties with that reading.
I'm so baffled by the tone he's going for. I got to run that back real quick.
The men are gone, and the roads are quiet.
Is there someone prodding him in the back? Because it seems like a physical reaction to something caused those words.
Yeah, it sounds like when one of your friends drops an ice cube down your shirt.
We follow the same road, but now downhill and run into a small town. We still have no idea where in the world we are.
I'm sorry, what is... I'm trying to picture the layout of this entire story.
I can't.
They went from a resort, the sports fields, through a hole into a shed area, and they're chased into a farm, and they're in a town.
I was a little lost because it sounded like the homeless men are one faction, and then there's a separate rogue agent in his own garden with a shotgun. Is that right?
It's possible. Yeah.
It's really like someone's describing a dream to me. It's just about as interesting.
After walking for 10 to 15 minutes, we see a house with people inside the living room. We ring the bell and try to ask the way. We told the name of the resort and she points downhill. This seems like a fairly standard road. We stick closely to the houses and follow the road. I didn't think this at the time, but apparently, there is an abandoned slaughterhouse close to the entrance to the resort. We heard Dutch voices from somewhere around the building, so we go in to ask directions. Enter a bloody hellhole. Everywhere is blood.
I'm sorry, you went into an abandoned slaughterhouse.
This is very much a story where someone is making up every part of it as they go.
Follow this road. Oh, maybe we should look into this abandoned slaughterhouse. I hear some Dutch voices inside. It's insane. And this is not, I just want to assure the listeners here that the stories that we tell are completely believable because they are true.
You remember the story I told where I choked out my neighbor's son because I thought it was a goblin?
Yes.
That is 100%. Like, every part of that made sense and connected. You could see the timeline. You could see the route I took to get behind that boy and choke him out.
You were so precise in telling that story. I even pictured the boy, and you hadn't even given any details, but I just pictured the situation so well because of just the way you delivered it. Let's back this up a little bit.
Yeah, let's back it up a little bit here.
And follow the road. I didn't think this at the time,
road with a T.
But apparently, there is an abandoned slaughterhouse close to the entrance to the resort. We heard Dutch voices from somewhere around the building, so we go in to ask directions. Enter a bloody hellhole. Everywhere is blood. On the floor, on the walls, on the equipment, even on the ceiling. Bloody knives everywhere. Wasn't a very nice experience. The other people running.
Would not recommend it.
Look at the reaction. I prefer not to be in here.
It's a 2-minute walk away. When we finally get to the resort, the staff don't let us in.
Wait, nothing? You just walked into a bloody slaughterhouse and just left?
He just asked some old lady directions 2 seconds ago.
I think we're dealing with a dumbass here is the situation. Went into a bloody slaughterhouse and just, I would prefer not to be in here, and left.
And somehow managed to get completely bloody, I think is what he's about to say.
Oh, no.
It's a 2-minute walk away. When we finally get to the resort, the staff don't let us in because they don't know if we're residents of the resort or not. They make us tell them the houses of our parents to come and get us. There were still pancakes left when I got...
There was pancakes.
Excuse me.
There were no pancakes left.
That was never introduced.
That was never in the equation.
There were still pancakes left when I got back and I played Pokemon with my brother. My mom gave me 10 euros for the arcade the next day.
What?
Which is when my bike...
Where are we going? This is...
What is this story?
Really is a dream.
This is really a true scary sports field horror stories.
Yeah, and it's the person telling us the story that's the one that's terrifying us.
Yeah.
Bike got stolen. The next day. My mom gave me 10 euros for the arcade the next day, which is when my bike got stolen.
Okay.
That's how it ended. Okay. What's the title of the next one? We gotta be done with this guy. I gotta know the title of the next one though. I like there's a second for you to reflect after each story. They just have a blank piano interlude.
Swimming pool watcher who tried to possibly kill us.
You know how you know how I know the story's gonna suck? Because they're not even sure. They're not even sure if he was trying to kill him. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he had ill intent. I don't know.
Oh, that was 2 back-to-back horrible stories.
And I have no confidence that this guy is going to get any better.
And, you know, somehow he has 162,000 subscribers. Maybe it's some jealousy talking from us, you know?
I think you as a listener should be inspired by this. The fact that this guy has 162,000 subscribers. Because if he can do this, why can't you, you know?
Yeah, can we read some comments, please?
Yes. You don't know how much know your videos. Keep up the good work.
No, not even keep up the good work. Keep the good work.
Oh, shit.
There's someone who just said, not bad.
Sports are fun. People would lose weight. When people play sports, people get fresh air from the fields.
That was edited, too. That was the second draft of that comment.
Do I get to see the first?
WWE guy said, I've been waiting for these stories for a while. Thanks. How is there demand for these stories? How is there a demand for a story you've never heard before?
You know, the view count to the subscriber count and all these kind of just bland comments make me believe that this man is buying these impressions.
Reddit.
44 true scary stories from Reddit. That's why he said Reddit. Oh no. This whole channel is that.
Yeah.
What we just listened to.
But the good thing about him is he's got horror stories for all settings.
Yeah.
Fast food, restaurant horror stories, convenience store horror stories. Hasn't uploaded in a while either. He's doing the Ghoulwatch strategy of quality over quantity.
That's right.
Mm.
Took one from the Ghoulwatch playbook.
You know, you can't blame us necessarily for being late. We're in freaking jail right now, guys.
Yeah. Oh, sorry we're not making content in jail. It's a we're watching videos on a DVD player right now.
Luckily, this DVD player allows us to navigate this man's channel. Otherwise, we'd be in big trouble. We had
the guard record his screen and pretend to browse around to give us the illusion that we're surfing the web.
You know, they're so accommodating in this jailhouse. It's amazing. I have been hearing some rumblings in the courthouse that they're not. They really don't want to keep us here in jail. Either way, I'm sure we're gonna get to the bottom of this soon enough, and you know we're gonna hopefully be out of this goddamn prison that's so accommodating to us in our podcast.
Thank you, guards. They're nodding at us.
Yes. Yeah. And frankly, baseball watch, this whole facade we've been putting on, it's over. I don't care. I'm staring the guard in the eye right now. I'm done with this.
The episode's recorded, pal. You can't delete this.
Yes. It's already released onto the World Wide Web as we speak.